From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories for Tuesday, December 12th, another potential E. coli case related to Taco Bell. DuPont announces job cuts. And our mission with the National Guard continues. Here are the details. A man who ate at several Delaware Taco Bell restaurants during the last month is suspected of having contracted E. coli. The 20-year-old Sussex County resident is being tested. It could be the state's sixth case related to the outbreak that has swept the East Coast. All but two Taco Bells in Delaware have reopened after voluntarily closing last week. The restaurants on Concord Pike in Tallyville and at Chestnut Hill Plaza in Newark are still closed. They must first be totally cleaned, throw out any food, and have all employees tested before reopening. Also, the state health department reports test results on lettuce, tomatoes, cilantro, cheese, and salsa from the Taco Bell and Kirkwood Highway have come back negative. DuPont is cutting 1,500 jobs and consolidating manufacturing in its agriculture and nutrition division. The company will use the $100 million in savings in its seeds business as it steps up competition with rival Monsanto. The changes are expected to affect about 10 of the division's 250 sites worldwide, but DuPont isn't saying which sites would be affected. Most of the changes are expected to be completed in 2007. Wilmington police are looking for two men who shot two others last night. Police say the suspects opened fire on their victims as the victims sat on the front steps of a home at the 200 block of North Broome Street around 7:15. Appoquinimink voters decide on a tax hike today. WDEL News continues in a moment.
As you look for your college experience, make sure you look at Wilmington College, your key to success.
Is the Newark Reservoir a catastrophe waiting to happen? WDEL's Curtis Gray reports.
The city is already fighting a federal judgment of more than $30 million. Now a warning from one subcontractor who worked on the city's biggest project says it's not a matter of if, but when the reservoir will fail. The design of the project, according to Richard Minton, owner of NPI Mechanical, included only one liner, while normal practice calls for two liners. Minton says council needs to have a diver go down and check for leaks.
Probably will find exactly what's predicted. The sloughing that occurred on the side slopes on a Zone 4 material, which is about a third of the way up the slopes of the dam. The liner, in my opinion, is exposed in areas.
Newark's Assistant City Manager Carol Hawks says Minton does not have the expertise to make such claims.
From any subcontractor, certainly you may recall in the lawsuit that Durkin dropped the suit against the design contractor, which are the points that he's referring to. So it is quite a surprise that he would make such statements today.
The reservoir holds more than 300 million gallons of water. I'm Curtis Gray, 1150 AM, WDEL.
Attorney General Carl Danberg is cracking down on illegal drug and prostitution activity. WDEL's Carl Konevsky reports.
Danberg, using a law that's been dormant since its passage more than 5 years ago, filed suit against the owners of the Hollywood Motel on Route 13, wanting it shut down until operators clean up their act.
I am seeking the temporary closing of this hotel until physical changes can be made which would allow the property to reopen safely. The changes I am demanding will include 24-hour security and a new fence line, a new, more effective fence line with controlled access to the property.
Danberg says the motel and 7 other properties received notice of pending legal action and wants other business owners that promote criminal activity to see the lawsuit as a warning.
We are coming after you. We are going to follow the law, we are going to enforce the law, and we are going to effect changes on the property for the quality of life for the individuals that are residing around you.
I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
The Appoquinimink School District is holding a referendum today on building a new elementary school and remodeling other buildings. WDEL's Frank Gerace has more details.
Superintendent Dr. Tony Marchio says they're asking for $64 million to help pay for several projects.
Cedar Lane will have be totally renovated, and The middle schools will have some work done with lockers and some of the parking areas. Middletown High School will do some refurbishing and remodeling in addition to their Ag Science program in the back of the school.
The district hopes to build a new early childhood center as well. Marchio says the district is growing by 500 students a year. Frank Gerace, 1150 AM, WDEL.
The Delaware Air National Guard is a critical partner in a mass casualty exercise near Washington, D.C. In part 2 of her report, WDEL's Melanie Armstrong rides along as the Guard transports patients to North Carolina.
8 men and women with horribly realistic burns and other wounds are loaded into the C-130 waiting at Andrews Air Force Base.
We're looking at burns. We have 4 patients on ventilators that are no longer breathing by themselves. And we're looking at some fractures and some lacerations around the face and the neck and the hands and everywhere else.
5 members of the Guard's 142nd Aeromedical Evacuation Squadron are on this mission.
It really doesn't matter what kind of patient you have, because we can deal with any patient that gets on the aircraft. We've got enough equipment to deal with up to 100 patients, ambulatory and litter. We can have patients anywhere in the country within 6 hours from the minute we were called in, took off, and to the next location.
The squadron needs to move patients from Washington, D.C. to hospitals that can handle burn patients in North Carolina.
My vitals been checked, blood pressure has been taken. They gave me some oxygen to check my respiratory system and made sure I had good breathing, my neck was okay, no broken bones or anything like that.
Taking care of patients in the air is a challenge.
We have the barometric pressure. We have to consider the noise, the vibration, flying, the altitude. One of the side effects from flying is fatigue. So you have to be aware of that, dehydration, making sure the patient's warm.
So what was the point of this exercise?
I mean, you never know when a national disaster is going to hit that something like that would happen.
How did the crew do? We'll tell you coming up in part 3. Melanie Armstrong, 1150 AM, WDEL.
The Sixers begin life without AI, but the result is the same. WDEL Sports and your Delaware AccuWeather forecast coming up.
You could spend your money at the gas pump, or you could spend it on those sexy pumps at your favorite store. Let Dart do the driving.
I do all my shopping with Dart. It's the most convenient way to shop the outlets, and it saves me money.
Now save even more. Get up to 40% off with a discounted Dart card. Online at dartfirststate.com or at your local Acme Market.
At this rate, with the money I save riding Dart, I'll have a new pair of shoes every week.
Travel smart. Choose Dart.
I'm Peter MacArthur.
I'm Melanie Armstrong, and here are Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour.
The most complete coverage of the news that matters in Delaware every weekday morning, 5:30 to 9 on 1150 AM WDEL.
In WDEL Sports, the Sixers lost for the 8th straight time, falling to Portland 81-79 when Zach Randolph scored on a layup with 2.4 seconds left. Andre Iguodala scored a career-high 27 for the Sixers, who trailed by 16 at one point of the game. Meantime, Allen Iverson has cleaned out his locker. The Sixers' 11-year veteran is on the trading block and has played his last game in a Sixers uniform. The Sixers are shopping the high-scoring guard, but so far no word on any trade possibilities has come from the Sixers camp. Delaware senior guard Teresa Smith has been named the CAA Player of the Week for the 3rd time this season after leading the Hens to wins over LaSalle and Boston University. Smith scored 19 points and grabbed 10 rebounds in the win over LaSalle. She followed that up Sunday with 24 points and 13 boards in the victory over BU. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast: clouds and sun through today, a high 54. Tonight, mostly cloudy with some rain moving in late, low 42. Tomorrow starts with rain and drizzle, then mostly cloudy for the rest of the day with a high of 56. Get news updates throughout the day. Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour on 1150 AM WDEL or anytime right here at WDEL.com, including news video from Delaware and around the world from WDEL and the Associated Press. I'm Chris Carl. Thanks for watching.